Hey, good morning. Man, oh man, it's Christmas week. Where is this month gone? And I don't know what to say. It's just that I hope you're all merry. We're going to be bringing some mirth to your morning. By the way, I'm wearing foreign and domestic. Blaine Holt, you might have seen him with me on Newsmax, General Holt. And good morning, Ed. Ed supports us, foreign and domestic. That's Blaine Holt and I doing our shtick. But and this morning I'm joined by another person who's going to be co-piloting. He's not an aviator. He doesn't fly C-17s like Blaine, but his name is Chris Cordani. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, nobody wants me to fly anything. I'm a bit nearsighted, so that won't be a lot of fun for the passengers. I'll tell you that.
Well, you could be like Snoopy. Didn't Snoopy fly airplanes? He flies his doghouse like it's an airplane, right?
The sup with
You could
camel,
fly
I believe.
a doghouse,
Yes.
couldn't you?
Yeah, I believe he flies
Yeah.
he flies the sup with camel. That's what he flies, and he's afraid of his cat,
Yeah.
the cat next door, World
That's right.
War II. But I understand you wanted to. If I remember, I heard you correctly. You said you wanted to bring Jonathan Winters to the show.
Is he here? Can we bring him back from the dead?
Well, you said you wanted to
There
bring
he is.
Mirth. You said you wanted to bring Mirth to the show. He played Mirth
Mirth.
on Mork and Mindy.
That's right. There, I did not know that, but there you go. I thought
Yes.
we'd have Fred and Ethel Mertz. No, it's Mertz. I get my Mertz and Mirth screwed up.
Right.
So
He
but
played their
we're-
baby.
he's quite the baby. You know, he's from Yellow Springs, Ohio, as I recall. I think,
that's
and
pretty
he,
cool.
yeah, which no, south of Dayton. Anyway, he's from Dayton. From I'll think of it later in the show. But anyway, good to be mirthful as we start. Speaking of mirth, I got to bring this up. I hope people he I hope people are not eating because this next part is going to be tough. It's funny but cringe. So, did you know, Chris, that Joy Behar, or otherwise known as the Wicked Witch of the East, simulated an orgasm on the air on The View on Friday?
Now that sounds pretty gross to me, if you ask me.
I wish I was joking, but I'm not. No. Apparently, she and Whoopi, there's a clue. There she is. That's it. You got it. Now, I don't know if that's the face you go when you're having, hemorrhoids or an orgasm. I'm not sure. So maybe the Patriots can define that. But yes, believe it or not, that's Joe's O face.
I don't. This is terrible. This is absolutely. This is not a good way to start off your breakfast week.
And Merry Christmas, folks. Just for you, Merry Christmas.
And I don't care that she's. Perhaps we could play the video. I don't think we want to do that. We'll spare the video. How about that? Look,
Well, it's not that bad. Go ahead, you play the video. It's not. It's like she's 82. So imagine an 82-year-old like.
we got to deal with that stupid commercial.
Or family
Maybe,
room.
yeah. All right.
Better.
We'll deal with that later. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's man. I just I never thought I knew that they crashed in ratings. Oh man, oh man. So guys, don't write and complain to the show. We're just trying. We're topical here. We tell you the news you should know. This is definitely something you should know. This'll bring you cheer. Come on. Now you gotta understand. Us showing you that stuff like this makes you grateful that you're not them, right, Chris? It's
exactly.
Man,
we watch this stuff because you don't have to.
That's right. We talk about this so you don't have to waste your time on this. Anyway, there's joyful Behar. Can we call her that? Joyful and Whoopi? Shouldn't Whoopi have done the Whoopi? I'm just asking because I don't know these things.
Which would you rather see? I mean, think about it.
Know.
This is like choosing between being impaled or being disemboweled.
So yeah, so rolling right on to disembowel. I guess Blue Sky. You've heard of Blue Sky, right?
Was it?
There's a theme. You'll see I'm doing
right?
a theme here. I'm going to do it through this. So anyway, so Blue Sky, and a guy named Luke Skywalker went over there because I thought maybe he thought that Skywalker would be like honored, but no. Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill. Is he related to Dorothy Hamill? I've always wondered that.
I don't know. That's
Uh,
a good question.
anyway, so old Luke Skywalker is unhappy because there's bots and badness. So all the badness from X went over to it's like a sucking chest wound. They sucked out all the bad and went over there. So
Mhm.
now old Luke Skywalker's upset because it's Twitter 19 it's Twitter 2017 and all the hate, all the vitriol, it's all over there, which is good for us because again, there's a theme here. This is more badness you don't have to pay attention to because we're not on Blue Sky. You're not on Blue Sky, are you?
Oh, you mean the Jonestown of social media? I don't think so.
Jonestown of social media. Yeah.
In fact, I venture that most of these are not only bots and maybe some celebrities who want to talk and yap on about everything, or afraid to discuss their
Yeah.
stupid ideas on Twitter because they're going to be called out for them. But I believe most of these people are a bunch of liberals who post on Facebook and X, "I'm leaving this and I'm going to Blue Ski," and then of course they just put something there and don't really do much because they're busy on X trying to figure out trying to see what we're all going to say.
Do
And
you think
nobody really cares about Blue Sky.
yeah. Do you think
So
they get more followers if they called it blue penis? Do you think that would like improve their image?
well, those are the
I don't
current
know.
users anyway.
Well, that's true. But Blue Origins, there's a theme here. We're going with blue this morning.
Right.
Blue Origins looks like a penis. Did you see that airplane, that rocket ship that goes up? I'm
Oh.
sorry. We shouldn't talk about penises this early. So, although there's a lot of penises on the left. Speaking of penises, let's go to a blue hair I wanted to bring up this morning.
Okay.
You probably don't know who I'm talking about, do you?
Well, there are a lot
Uh,
of there are too many of them. They're almost like a dime a dozen at this point.
well, there's one in particular that's upset about Elon Musk. Speaking of X,
Okay.
Rosa Di Laro, the blue hair of blue hairs. This nut. Speaking of nuts, now she was all upset. She's a flaming lib, although I'm getting to flaming in a bit because that again we're going with a theme here this morning. It's like a pre-Christmas theme, Chris. So we started off with the View. We went to Blue Sky. We're now at Blue Hair. So Blue Hair, Rosa Delario. There she is.
Connecticut.
She's
She's a
coming up.
chick
There
from
she is.
Connecticut, by the way. Yes.
Yeah, she's a Canadian. Well, she should be Canadian, but she's Connecticut.
Right.
And she was yelling at Elon Musk because Elon Musk is a billionaire who has influence, as if the left doesn't have any influencers who are billionaires. And she was calling him President Musk, and it's like, okay, well, maybe I don't know, but to me,
Okay.
Musk has only expressed the frustration we all have with the federal government. It's just that his voice has been amplified by X and by the president. So
Mm,
she was literally screaming that somehow holding the budget to check would somehow injure you or me. Did you know that she's speaking for us? She's saying that shutting down the government would somehow hurt us. Do you believe that?
yeah. Look, that's the mentality anyway. The idea is if they shut down the government, we're going to make. Yeah. Look, the government shuts down for a little bit because of some spending issues. It's not going to bother anybody. It really isn't. Maybe a couple of federal workers have to wait 2 to 4 weeks for a check. But that's it. No, the government never shuts
So
down for very long, and when it
yeah,
did shut down, it wasn't that big of a deal, and everybody knows it, except
I know.
the idea there's a mentality out there where politicians can only handle the political jobs, and if the government shuts down, it'll be a Y2K all over again. Well, the supposed Y2K all over again.
It's insane. It's
Right.
insane. So she was screaming and squealing, and the blue hair. I don't know why do they have blue hair. I'm asking because I really don't understand it. What is the symbology of blue hair, especially since she's also in her 80s? Oh, by the way, did you know she makes like 161,000 a year, but she's worth 30 million?
Yes,
Can you can
that's
you
your
can
typical
you add
Democrat
that
right
up?
there.
How do you do that? How do you get that? I don't. I'm bad at math. I mean, for the Patriots, I believe that algebra is a fraud perpetrated on us by the ancient Egyptians. But don't take that to school. As a matter of fact, ignore that because you'll get in trouble if you go to school and say that. But
Well, well,
there she is.
would you like her rant? Here's her
Yeah, let's
rant.
hear a little bit of her rant. Let's
Here's
hear
her
how
rant.
we're all jeopardized.
She is completely. She's always had this hair, by the way. This is an attention seeker thing. So let's put let's
Let's
the,
do it.
Anybody
Let's
who
hear a
does,
little bit.
yeah, it's all attention
Let's
seeking.
hear
But
the dulcet sounds of Rep. Rosa DeLaro.
yeah, here she is.
They write the bill. They post the bill. They agreed on a bill.
They signed it.
What a dresser.
And you know what? They got scared because President Musk told them, President Musk said, don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do
Shut
it.
the
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
pull that fire alarm. Oh, too late.
Spend responsibly. Oh my gosh. Hold off the excessive money. Oh my gosh. How horrible is that? This woman
Yeah.
makes it look like
That's my point. That's
right.
my point. This is about government bloat. Oh, how dare you shut down the bloat? Oh my God.
But here is what's really happening behind the scenes. The Democrats are under orders to keep using the phrase and the term President Musk. The idea is to
Yes.
do
Yes,
what
I was-
the idea is to play on President Trump's ego potentially and make him just get rid of Musk or undermine Musk at every turn. But
Yeah.
because look what Kamala Harris did, that one little moment she had with the crowd sizes. It does work on Donald Trump. He has to be strong
Yeah.
enough to say this is what they're doing. But the media is
They
doing it.
know. They
Every
figured it out.
Democrat's doing it, and every Democrat mouthpiece on the internet is doing it.
Well, let's continue with our Christmassy, mirthy theme.
Yes.
Of great Democrats doing great things. Next is Catherine. Did I get that right? You have to like Catherine. Right? Is
Oh,
that the way
okay.
you do
Yeah.
that?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Better known as Vampirilla. Is that how you pronounce that? Vampirilla.
Vampirella.
Vampirilla. Did you know that she got on the metro on? I guess it was Friday, and she had this video of her
Yes,
running
she
around.
did. In fact, she did a selfie photo op.
A selfie photo op. So, and she was saying, "Hey, I have fixed the security problem on the metro, on the underground." Right? That's what she said, right? She did say that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Chris?
She said
I mean,
it's safe. It's safe to come out here. Here you go. Here's her tweet.
There
By
it
the
is.
way,
Here we go. There she is with the selfie and running around with her 15-person security detail. So I'm sure she felt pretty secure.
yes.
No homeless people are going to set her on fire. Oh, well, that's my theme. Apparently, it's roasting chestnuts on the subway, right? Did you hear about this? An illegal
Yes.
immigrant, there's a clue, lit woman on fire and burned her to death.
Basically,
So
this is what happened. A Guatemalan immigrant. First of all, this woman did not listen
There
to
you go.
Petula Clark. Okay, Petula Clark
Yeah.
specifically warned us back in the 1960s to not sleep on the subway. That's number one. Number two, the subways are not safe, and the fact that these illegals are running around and these people are jumping, like they jump in the fares and causing problems, and it's easy to commit crimes down there. Unless you're the governor with a bunch of people doing the selfie photo op, you are not safe in the subways right now, and
That's right.
and that's an issue. And
that's right.
uh,
So,
but
and so
this guy
so
lit her on fire and watched
literally,
her burn.
literally. So, so our theme, I think you've all figured it out. Democrats are both evil and the anti-Christmas. So we're trying to. The point is, you should be grateful that you don't live in a Democrat hellhole. You have people like Rosa Parks, whatever her name is,
Mm.
that they're going to be losing power because the evil that they do, and it's long overdue for the changes to come. And this Christmas, we should all be grateful for two things. First, Chris, we're not Democrats.
That's a
We're
good
not.
thing.
It's a good thing. And secondly, we actually do have a sense of humor, and we can make fun of these people because we're not them, right?
Well, that's the thing. We do need to keep Democrats around for a few laughs because hey,
Yeah.
who the hell are we going to make fun of? Who the hell is going to come up with stupid ideas? I mean, otherwise we wouldn't have any fun without them. Again, though, some of these people have a little too much power and a little too much of the microphone. And we are talking about the Deloro chick and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who, by the way, it's still funny. She couldn't get a leadership position that she desperately felt entitled to, and lost it to Connolly, who's, I don't know, like 600 years old and infirm
Really?
at this point. Yeah,
Maybe do you think if you did a fake orgasm on the floor of the house, would that help?
I think that's
They
how
seem to do that
Connolly
pretty good.
got the position, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Uh,
I
uh,
know
uh,
Jerry Connolly, and he's a Democrat's slimy Democrat. He's a
no,
party boss. I'm not joking
yeah,
about it.
look, he does his job though. We see through him, but he does his job. Alexandria
He's a party hack.
Ocasio-Cortez. The problem with Cortez, and this is where people don't realize this. You hear, well, young people you have to give young people the microphone. No, this is a woman who always, when she speaks, she sounds like she's an adult. Oh, sorry, she sounds like she's a child asking the adults to extend her bedtime.
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
yeah.
and this is and the Democrat leadership, 90 as they are, they do realize that people like this should not be the face of their party in the future, because then nobody will take them seriously. They don't have a minor league system, and the best they have are the squad. And look what look at the childish things they've pulled. You had
Oh, did you see that?
the fire escape with a fire alarm and on downward.
Well, I don't know. Can you bring that up because Jamal pull my finger Bowman had it going away. Did you see that? If you can Google that for the folks. No, I'm serious. He had his going away speech. You could probably bring it up pretty. So basically, to your point, there's like an empty bench of newcomers. It's not quite empty. It's pretty low. So, but it's so Jamal Bowman basically had 5 people show up to his closing speech, and you know who they were, Chris?
Cortez, Presley,
The squad.
yes, the squad.
The squad. That was it. Nobody else. And so, and I think he even made reference at some point, like maybe I shouldn't have pulled that fire alarm. Like, no, I said, it's like the fire alarm is just kind of the cherry on top of a snow cone of evil. And he was anti-Israeli, pro-Hamas. I think his goose was cooked a long time ago, no matter what happened. So there he is. Yeah.
Look, Bowman.
Political lynching. Sure.
Bowman,
Yeah.
Bowman is the example of the entitled person, the one who
Yeah.
thinks that DEI, that because of DEI, he should be the face of the Democrat Party. Look, he was an embarrassment.
Well,
to
he
the party.
is.
The entire
He is, but
squad
in the wrong way.
The entire squad's an embarrassment. Nancy Pelosi said it years ago. She said, "Look, some of these people are so lucky that they live in a district that'll vote for a glass of milk if it has a D next to it." I think it was water, maybe not milk. But the point she made is they don't take these people seriously, and we shouldn't.
Yeah.
So even these fools don't take them seriously.
No. Well, someone I do want to take seriously who's from New York. Let's bring in Vinny, our cousin Vinny.
Ah, yes.
Good morning, Vinny.
Morning,
Hey,
Vin.
good morning, guys.
The Vinter
How you
is
doing?
here.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Anthony?
It's good to
How
see
you
our
doing?
cousin Vinny. And he wasn't picked up in some southern state and put on trial. Were you, Vinny? No, that's not you. That's a different kind of cousin Vinny.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, actually, wasn't cousin Vinny the lawyer in that one?
That's my cousin. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't, that's right. He was. So you're not a lawyer, are you, Vinny?
No, no, not at all.
I want to interject here.
Right.
Ralph
Okay.
Macchio was in My Cousin Vinny. Am I correct?
Yeah. And Joe
I don't
Pesci.
know. I'm not an actor. I guess I am, but I don't know.
Well, he was in that with Joe Pesci and all that. A lot of people say his best movie, what's his name's best movie was The Karate Kid, or all the Karate Kid movies. I don't think Ralph Macchio's best movie was that or The Outsiders or anything close to that. Up the Academy was Ralph Macchio's masterpiece right there. That was a classic movie, and if anybody had the privilege of seeing it, check it out. Okay, well, that's Ralph Macchio's best work in Up the Academy.
Okay.
See,
You say
I've
so.
seen the movie.
Oh, okay. Good. So Vinny, let's go on to
Yes.
something brighter. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
It sounds like the Democrats.
No, that's die.
That's
That's die
true.
slowly. That's die
true.
slowly.
That's true.
They're
Yeah.
trying to take over the world. It's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
So Vinny, so we're talking about a lot of things in your backyard today. We're talking about Hochul. Oh,
Oh,
sorry, I got
well, was my back. That was my backyard.
It's stuck in my throat. So
Yeah,
anyway, and then
yeah.
Ocasio-Cortez and people being lit on. You're not going to the subway today, are you? Just say it.
No.
Don't go on the subway.
No, I'm not with Hookah, whatever her name is. I'm with Governor Murphy over here. He's another
That's
one.
good.
He's another one that can't get his shit
wait,
straight.
Governor Murphy's
His,
doing one
BB
good
straight.
thing. Murphy's
Yeah.
doing one good thing. He's fighting Hochul on that stupid driver's tax. So
Oh,
Thank God.
we'll need him
Yeah.
for at least a month or so. Okay.
So Vinny, before we got to bring in Barry in a second, but are you doing anything exciting for the holidays? Tell us what you're doing or not doing. Anything cool?
well, just being with the family, and
That's great.
that's basically it. That's more important than anything.
That's
Oh.
true. And then and staying away from subways. That's true. That's important.
Yeah, I don't go near the subways. I don't go on the buses. I don't go on the trains. They're too dirty. They're disgusting. I've been telling a lot of people, if you research like Russia, Italy, everywhere else, Germany, the train station, you can eat off the floor. In New York, it's disgusting, and they always need money. They always need money. Money.
Oh, yeah,
And
it's because mismanagement of funds. The MTA,
Yeah.
we know about the double dipping scandals over the years. We know about the high overtime pay scandals. These higher ups are making super salaries. You have all these union workers making all much. And I'm not disparaging the unions, but too much money is going into the MTA. We don't know how it's being spent, and it's being spent poorly no matter what. Now they want to charge drivers to go into Lower Manhattan just because they couldn't handle their finances. But they did have enough money for a $545 million camera system to be put there to make sure people pay their tolls.
And the chief of police given overtime based on sexual favors.
Oh,
that's true. It's true. Come on, I'm not making this up.
Still better than the last administration.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. So, and Vinny, so you guys are Jersey, and I love my friends in Jersey. They're listening right now. Hey, good morning, guys. And by the way, compliments.
Hey, what's up, Barry?
There's Barry. Speaking of another great New Yorker.
Hello, Jersey boy.
Let me finish my riff on Jersey. Jersey has one of the most effective Homeland Security teams in the nation. I've actually gone up to Fort Monmouth. I've spoken to the joint team, and New Jersey, despite the fact I make fun of the state, when I go to Fort Dix, I always joke about. I try to sniff the air and figure out what it is. That's okay. I love New Jersey. I do. But I'm saying that you guys kick ass on Homeland Security because you have to, because you're next to the biggest threat to the Republic, the New York Democrats. So you got to be protected. Right, Barry? Good morning, Barry.
Hey, good to see you guys. Hey, Vinny.
Hey, how you doing, Beth?
Good to see you all.
So,
hey, Barry.
By the way, this is all I have. I'm being ganged up on here. Everybody here's from New York. You got Chris, Vinny, and Barry. I'm like the outsider here. I feel like
another Ralph Macchio reference here.
Should I get my wallet out and toss it at you guys?
Where did Barry go? He disappeared.
I don't know what happened there.
That's weird. Good morning, Barry.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, could I chime in on the Die Hard question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, yes, please, since you're into that sort of thing. So go ahead. Tell us.
I always argue with my wife. She says it is a Christmas movie. I say it's not, but I will concede it is a Christmas movie if we can agree that The Godfather is also a Christmas movie.
So I love The Godfather, and I think anytime you have horses, heads, and beds, that's very Christmassy, don't you think, Chris?
Yeah.
Well, it was a gift. It was a gift, so I guess that does count.
It was a gift.
Yeah,
It was an early
exactly.
Christmas
There you
gift.
go.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Christmas present. That's what it was.
They play "Have a Merry Christmas" during the movie, and remember, it's not Christmas until Michael tells his father he is with him.
That's right. See, this is like a mafia Christmas special we're having here, right, Chris?
Well, on the good side, we do have Fredo every day on News Nation, right?
We do. Man, oh man.
And here's the funny thing: Democrats are coming to their senses. Some of these middle guys are coming to their senses. I don't know what the problem is, but Chris Cuomo has been saying, "All right, these guys are a little too." Fetterman, you ever notice that every day when Fetterman gets a little better from his stroke, he seems to be a little more reasonable.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and
He
we all
turned
know.
out to be the most reasonable of Democrats, shockingly.
Yeah, well, that's of course that's Cinema. Oh, Cinema also gave them a piece of her nose too when she left. It's going to be very interesting next couple of weeks. But there's a big rift between the parties. Let's just say the classic liberals or the liberals who were, let's say, more financially equality oriented than against the woke. This is going to be a huge civil war. The same civil war that the Democrats tried to frame the Republicans were in when it was the neocons versus the populists.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that a second. So first, let's start with Barry. So Barry, let's tell the good folks where they can find you, because I'm going to find you in March, right? You're coming to DC so I can get my uniform shot and everything.
Can't wait.
Let's go through that real quick.
Actually, Alexandria, Virginia, DC, Virginia area, March 15th and 16th, coming in for my weekend of headshots. So
good. So obviously send me when to schedule, because I want to get
we'll get you on.
Arlene and I on the schedule, because we're going to do that.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
And then and in the meantime, are you still working over the holidays? One second. Are you still working over the holidays, Barry, or are you taking it off?
I'll probably take it off. Usually it's quiet anyway between Christmas and New Year, so get to
so I if you haven't already followed him, so we're all on Facebook together. Just so Vinny, Cousin Vinny, Barry and I, we're on Facebook. You can follow us. You don't have to be friends, you can follow us. But Barry has been posting some extraordinary he always does his shot he wish he took, which is great, and then one of his great shots. So my dear friend Cherie Curry, who I don't think we were trying to have her on the show this week. I'm not sure if we're going to do that or not. But Barry always has some of the best of his work. It's like an Eagles song without the sadness, right, Barry? It's like you got all this cool stuff. So yeah.
What's the Hotel California?
That's Hotel California.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
There they are.
Yeah.
There they are. Yeah. So you go through and he's got some great. So check out Barry. And again, he doesn't just do headshots, because he's been doing rock and roll stuff too. So go back and just watch out for his posts, because he's a patriot. He's someone who does not compromise on quality or on what's great. So he's the guy to go to. There. Oh, look, there I am.
Who's this handsome guy? There we go.
There I am. That's Barry's work right there. So
that is pretty awesome. Yes,
and I think you're under the black and white section too.
So okay, so Vinny, go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off. I wanted to give Barry some time in the sun.
On the topic of Barry, I met Barry a long time ago, many years ago, at the cutting room, and he started taking pictures of me. And because of him, I started getting a lot of movie parts. And
is that right? I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah, I always post. If you always got one chance, and you always need the best. So Barry is the best.
Barry is the
best. Good there.
So I definitely need some headshots.
Thank you, Vinny. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, I need to get headshots too. As a matter of fact, most people suggest I get them with a paper bag on, but if you can do that, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, so I do recommend Barry. And so Vinny, but that's a great story. I had no idea that you guys went back that far. But
Thanks,
Vinny,
guys.
so what do you? But you've been. So I encourage people to follow you too, because you say things on Facebook which I'm surprised they don't suspend you over, which is good. Which is a good thing, because I think it's great, because you just put it out there and you tell people like it is. And I want to ask you, because you were not infected. You, my friend, are not infected by the liberal mind virus. You've been. So how did you stay a good guy, a made man, kind of made by us, by Barry? You're made by Barry. How did you stay sane despite all the nonsense going on around you?
Well, I'm a big super Trumper, and there's too much BS out there with the Democrats. Just like they wanted to pass they wanted to pass the bill without nobody reading it. 1,500 pages. Pass the bill, then read it. That doesn't make sense.
You'll find out what's in the bill when we pass it.
And the other thing is like I lost a lot of friends on Facebook because I told them how it is, and they don't like it. People were bad-mouthing Trump, so I just block them, or I just tell them where to go, and that's it. It's retarded. It's a little retarded. And now you got this guy that lit that person on fire on the train. What are they going to do? They're going to prosecute him and let him out a couple of days later, probably. And then you got Luigi. then you have Luigi. That to me, I think it's just another false flag, and he's a pigeon that they're using.
Could be.
I really don't think it's him.
No, it's possible, and it's possible. It's possible. It's not. We'll see what happens in the future. But the idea is, you'd think that the person that shot him would be proud of it, or this guy's taking the blame just because he wants to be a celebrity.
Yeah, but why?
Interesting.
Why would he go to McDonald's with this, the gun, and this and that, and just sit there? That doesn't make sense to me.
Because he
And
wants a
and
burger,
and
the burger
here's
made the
something.
right way.
And Luigi's friend, and one of Luigi's friends on Facebook happened to be a CEO of some big insurance company,
Right.
and his
Well, that's the
family.
thing. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I see
and
what you're saying because yeah, this kid has never been denied medical coverage not once in his life. I mean, it's the grand irony. It's like he had some back work done. Okay. But Vinny, they repaired all that. This kid is not wanted for nothing. So it's like he is the ultimate expression of liberal or progressive privilege. He is that kid. He's the kid that gets everything, wants for nothing. So it's really strange that this kid would decide, yeah, I'm just going to screw everybody over and do that. So, but I have a question for both of you regarding Joe Biden, someone else who's not mentally all there. Did you know, as of this morning, he has pardoned everybody on federal death row except for like 5 people.
Yes.
So
yeah,
he's gone through.
even that child person.
The child
Yeah,
killers. The
Yeah,
child killer in there.
yeah,
There's
child.
there are mass
child
murderers
killer.
in there.
He
Yep.
is speaking of mass murders. Biden has literally pardoned mass murderers. So what do you all think?
Well, let's start here. Let's start
Yeah,
here. Joe
crazy.
Biden is trying to
Yeah,
push forth a legacy, and it's been an embarrassment
yeah, the
all
legacy.
along. Right. His legacy is going to be the guy I saved people from the death penalty. Because basically, what else is his legacy now at this point? He's already screwed up the economy. Of course, he's burning it down at this point. He's destroyed his own party, for that matter. He's made everybody around him look silly and useless. And now he decides, well, all right, well, let me be the guy that commutes people. I'm the gentle guy that takes people off the death penalty. It's all about optics for these people, but the optics that they want only appeals to their shrinking base, if you will. It's going to be a pretty horrible climb upward for the Democrat Party after this administration leaves. It's just going to be embarrassing. It's going to be
Yeah.
very difficult. They're going to have their 35% base. They're going to have another 10% of easy dupes, but it's not going to be enough to convince people in the middle to go back that way until the woke are
Yeah.
pretty much exterminated or excuse me, excommunicated from the party.
So I just, and by the way, speaking of commuting, we talked about the murder on the subway. I'll bet you, I bet money that if that guy was in prison, that immigrant was in prison, which he's going to go to prison, they're not going to deport him, they're going to put him in prison.
Right.
Biden would have commuted his sentence as well. He's that evil. So
Yes.
and the other thing, speaking of evil, is Mayorkas, Secretary of Homeland Security, Mayorkas,
Or
also known as Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor, there he is. There's
Lex Luthor was a lot smarter than Mayorkas. This
I
guy's
don't
more
know.
like, yeah.
So
He needs to go to
Mayorkas,
jail.
yeah, Vinny, according to Mayorkas, if only Congress had acted sooner, we would not have the massive failure at the border. Do you believe that?
It's just horrible what's going on with the border. They're just letting everybody in
Yeah.
for nothing. I mean, when you travel on vacation, it's like they even want your blood type. Who are you? They scan you. They wipe your sneakers for any kind of chemicals and whatnot.
Yeah.
These people are walking over the border with Joe Biden T-shirts, and they
Yeah,
got
I know.
wristbands that look like Ted Cruz said, like when he was in Congress talking to the FBI, I guess, or whoever was security. What do the wristbands mean? The colored wristbands, and
Because
they
it's
couldn't give no
it's a
answer.
process. They've established
Yeah,
a process. That's right. So
All right.
Barry, what
yeah,
do you
but
what do you
but the
think it's true?
wristbands also.
You gonna play? You gonna play something, Chris?
Oh no, I don't have to play anything from him, but I can if you'd like. The thing is, Mayorkas. What I was getting at here with Mayorkas is, if you watch what's happening in Europe and you watch what's happened here, and to an extent Canada, the idea is there is a worldwide movement to bring illegals and house them in the European nations just to weaken them and then destroy the societies within. It's the only way the world elite is going to gain control. This is something we have to watch. And when we watch these people try to shift blame and say, "Oh, the Republicans didn't do this," we still have to keep an eye on what's really happening around the rest of the world. And that's where everything has to be stopped. This is why we need people who are tougher in the United Nations. I'm very happy that Trump has nominated Elise Stefanik as the ambassador to the UN, because she will tell them, we reject all of this. This is not a good idea. The World Health Organization. I don't have to go off on a tangent here, but you get the idea. I know we see it in our own American bubble, and it's very important to see it that way because of what's happening and how it's draining our resources. But the worldwide movement shows that that even after Trump, we have to beware that any Republican or Democrat leader could resume what Trump is likely going to stop for at least 4 years. So we have to really think ahead on this one.
So Trump said, and so I said in the chat, the people in charge are like the devil's rejects, and that's actually a movie. It's a nasty movie. As a matter of fact, it's a trilogy nasty movie, right, Chris? Are you aware of this?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So
good nasty movies, though.
That's who these people are, huh?
Good nasty movies, but yes.
Well, it's. I guess it's good if nasty is a good thing, I suppose. Anyway, but so that's who they are, and that's what's going on. And Trump said at the Freedom Fest, I think just as yesterday or the day before, 2 o'clock, 20 January, it starts. And I know he means it. So, but before further ado, something else we know we have to hit real quick is Paul Stone and the team that supports us here, Colonial Metals Group. Chris, can you bring up the Colonial Metals information so we can get folks to
we'll
check
get
it
that
out?
Going. It's all good.
So our friend Paul Stone and his team at Colonial Metals are your one-stop shop for financial security. One of the things we know is that Trump rolls in 20 January, things are going to change. I believe they're going to be for the better. I think our team here believes they're going to be for the better. Ed Henry, I'm sure, who we're here for, Ed, believe it's going to be for the better. But the one thing you can do to make sure that everything is for better is to invest in gold and silver. That's why you have to go check out Paul Stone and his team at colonialmetalsgroup.com/Ed-Henry. Or do it the old-fashioned way, since we're all geezing today, or do the scan right there, scan the barcode there, or call 800-805-4034. 800-805-4034. Gold and silver have been the coin of the realm for multiple civilizations. That is something that has endured over and over and over. That's a good thing. Unlike other people who come and go, parties come and go, gold and silver stays, and you will be happy no matter what happens economically to have gold and silver in your portfolio. And I've seen some of you call up and switch over. So continue to do that. This is going to add to your family's security, to your financial future, the safety of your financial future. Let me get my adverbs and pronouns in the right order, right, Chris? I must have failed English. I don't know how I talk sometimes.
Well, you got the pronouns down perfectly, I have to tell you. You ever check his X page?
Right.
The pronouns are good.
Did you guys see me? I was on Chris. We have too many Chris's here. Chris Plant's show.
Love Chris.
I was on with Chris on Friday night on the Right Squad, and he asked me what my pronouns were. And he said, "Are they Colonel and Sir?" I said, "No, Apocalypse Now," which is true. So that's what we want. So anyway, shout out to Chris Plant. Oh, and so Larry O'Connor. Larry is going to come on the show sometime soon too. Chris, I forgot to tell you, Larry O'Connor, my friend Larry, does his own thing on WMAL. He does stuff, but he's agreed to come on and join us for 1 a.m. segment sometime.
Well, that's going to sound fantastic. I always like Larry O'Connor. I used to like booking guys on his show.
Great.
So that was great.
He's a Breitbart disciple. Just saying. So
hey, I like that guy. Anyway,
and I did both their headshots, Larry and Chris. Great guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Not together, but separately.
Right.
Yes,
exactly.
Sure
There you go. Yeah. Good guys.
I mean, they're not like a couple. Although if they were, who cares?
I didn't mean to start a rumor.
What do I?
Well, look on this Mayorkas thing, though. We have to look back as well. Donald Trump's stay in Mexico policy was actually quite sound. The Democrats only turned that over because it was a Trump policy. They never cared. The Democrats and neocons never cared about the immigration issue because they have people who are hefty donors to them that want to take advantage of illegals and don't want to pay people a proper salary. They try to use the excuse, well, they're migrants that come in and do the farm work. Yeah, but they have done that for years, and they're allowed to do that. They're not here illegally. Most of them are here. Some are. Most of them are here legally to do the work and go home. They want to bring some money into the families. That's fine.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything wrong. But the idea is you keep these things going. You keep illegal immigrants funneling in because you gotta deal with the cartels. You gotta deal with the you got to allow your donors to have their free or their cheap labor. You got to be able to abuse some people. Don't let the system work. Look, and Nancy Pelosi said it herself. Who's going to clean our toilets? All right. Title 42 comes on. They couldn't stop it because, hey, if the Democrats are going to use the pandemic to stop something, well, good. Trump took the page out of their book. Title 42, we didn't have an immigration problem. As soon as it opened, the floodgates were there. Mayorkas was wrong. Congress did not need to do anything. An easy executive order to say, let's extend 42 for a little while, or we keep staying in Mexico. Those are the executive orders that could have stopped this whole thing. But no, Biden didn't do that. Mayorkas didn't do that. Mayorkas probably didn't even advise him to do it.
Yeah. So that's the next thing I want to hit before we go is Biden himself. So there was a Wall Street Journal article, an expose, which is like, how do you call something an expose when we've known this for 5 years? It's kind of like,
well, it's for the media. The media didn't notice this for 5 years.
Yeah. So they had Chris Cillizza, who is like a Gila monster, only in human form, right, Chris? I mean, he kind of has that lizard. He's kind of like a lizard. His tongue kind of goes out really fast, and he nibbles at things. But Chris Cillizza, the human Gila monster, was saying, "Oh, I had no idea. You need to forgive me." These people are evil because he knew. Well, the Biden. I would ask questions, and the Biden folks would get upset with me. I say, no soup for you.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So what? So let's start with Vinny. Vinny, what do you make of cousin Gila monster Chris Cillizza and his minions all saying, "Oh, it's not our fault. We were weak and spineless. We just went along." So what do you think of this revelation that Biden has been diminished since before he was elected?
Honestly, I really think that it was the biggest mistake ever to have Joe Biden in office, and along with other things. I mean, destroyed the economy. I mean, you can't even go shopping; it's so expensive. They cost too much money.
Yeah,
and I mean, every time you turn around, it's a new thing. It's a new thing with them. It's just hard to explain, like sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't get it, and I don't get people not understanding that they've been brainwashed by the media.
I don't get it.
They repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again. I mean, to me, that's like brainwashing. Your brain is constantly hearing the same old thing over and over again, and it's you can't unwash somebody's brain when they're too far gone.
Yeah. So Barry, what do you make of it? Because this is something you and I both know. Some reporters, mostly, are on our side,
right?
But these people now want to tell us, "Oh, it's not our fault." It's most certainly your fault. It's you're the fourth estate. You're supposed to go out there and ask the hard questions, and they did nothing but amplify. Oh, he's fine. He's the sharpest he's ever been. Mika and Joe Brazil. I don't know. Have you met Mika and Joe? I've met Joe. I've not met Mika.
I've not met him.
Joe Scarborough. I mean, that guy. If the devil had a ingrown toenail, it's Joe Scarborough, right?
Ooh,
I mean, that guy.
Pretty evil. He seems evil. Seems like
what
an
do you
evil
make
guy.
of this? What are we supposed to take away from this Wall Street Journal report?
Well, if you're saying that people are now claiming they just went along, I mean, I think history shows that excuse doesn't work. We just went along. You know what I mean? That's just, hate to make that comparison. That's what the left always does. But I mean, for the media or people in the government who say, "Well, we just went along. We just, we didn't speak out and we didn't do anything because we could have maybe saved the country if we had spoken out." But it's too late. You were cowards. You went along. You were complicit. So there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so Chris, that's one of the things I do want to focus on just for a moment, because I want to go on to our last topic here in a moment. But the issue has to be accountability. So, as a matter of fact, you all know, this is no surprise, I was the national security advisor to the Trump 2020 campaign, and I wrote editorials about the fact that it was obvious to me that Joe Biden was mentally compromised during the 2020 cycle. And yet somehow I was the bad guy because I was questioning an old man. Oh my goodness, how can you question this public servant who spent his entire life serving the nation? Like, he never served the nation once. It was all about Joe Biden. It's never been about the nation. It's all been about Joe. When Joe Biden was in Congress, I don't know if you knew this, Joe Biden's nickname in the Senate was Quid Pro Quo Joe. How do we not get that? Quid Pro Quo Joe. It's like Joe wouldn't do anything unless Joe Biden benefited from it. Just saying. So does that sound like a public servant? Vinny, does that sound like a public servant to you?
No, it doesn't sound like anything to me. But as when he was a senator, he never did nothing right. Now he's the president and still didn't do nothing right.
Right.
So it's useless to me.
Okay, the idea of Joe Biden running for president in 2020 goes a little deeper, because the Democrats wanted control of the House House and Senate. They wanted the control of the executive branch, but they wanted to find somebody who would seem electable to the point where they can take advantage with the new rules of 2020, they pull their ground game, as we all know what happened, to make it plausible that Trump could have been defeated by somebody. So you look at the field as far as the Democrat primary. I'm going to rip some of these names off for you. Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren. Do you think she was going to win an election and anybody would believe it if she won the election against Donald Trump? Michael Bloomberg. Nobody trusts New York or Massachusetts Democrats. They'd never win anywhere. Pete Buttigieg. Anybody believe that Pete Buttigieg would win the presidency against Donald Trump? And of course, Bernie Sanders. Yeah, he might have won, but the Democrats all had to gang up on him and they had to find somebody that seemed moderate to anybody else to avoid letting Bernie Sanders get the nomination, because he would lose to Donald Trump pretty easily. So the situation was each of the moderate type Democrats, the Buttigiegs, the Buttigiegs, the Warren, Bloomberg, they all for some reason quit at the same time around Super Tuesday to let Joe Biden win and destroy Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, who made that call?
Right.
Who made the call to make him quit?
And those are the people that were running the country. Joe Biden was just a figurehead, and everybody knew within that system that if Joe Biden was ever caught to be mentally incompetent and had to have a 25th Amendment stuck on him, then we'd be stuck with Kamala Harris, who was a colossal embarrassment to the party and the nation. And she served as such in this very short campaign as well.
Yeah.
So these are the underlying issues.
Chris, I don't disagree with your logic, but then why did they pick Kamala to be the one that tried to carry the torch across the finish line this cycle then?
Because you can take her in small doses, and nobody else wanted to draw the short straw to run.
But I heard that they want to bring Kamala Harris in and act as president, and they also want to try to pull the 14th Amendment.
No, they never wanted Harris to become president.
We'll see. So that brings me to the next question. To Barry, who's in charge right this minute as we speak?
Well, we know it's not Biden, that's for sure.
No, it's not Biden.
No,
that's what I'm asking. It's like,
Obama.
Well, yeah.
Obama spoke.
I would say that's probably correct.
So I think it's Valerie Jarrett,
right?
Susan Rice,
right.
Lloyd Austin, God help us on that, and Jake Sullivan. So these are the people I think who are literally, and that's why you see these people are the latte liberals. These are the people who have never had to do anything hard their entire life regarding real work or real sacrifice. These are the people who have great theories and no comprehension of how the world works. Janet Yellen, for God's sake, is like Mrs. Keebler. Like, she and Anthony Fauci ought to go off and have like their little Keebler elves a tree house and like make cookies for each other and debrief each other the rest of their lives.
Oh yeah,
they could inoculate each other. Just
how
saying.
boring would that conversation be?
I don't think it. Well, it'd be funny for the first 10 minutes. Just saying. So
that's more. That sounds more boring than an episode of Saturday Night Live in its 50th and 49th seasons.
all right. Well, that brings me to the next topic. Maybe we'll see how much time we have left. So over the weekend, as a matter of fact, yesterday, according to the AP, so I'm citing a reputable source, well, at least I think so, off the USS Roosevelt, we shot down one of our own airplanes. What a fitting end to the Biden administration. Now, fortunately, at the time we're talking, the two pilots were able to eject, but apparently they were taken off. And I don't know. I'm a military guy, and I know how these things work. It's pretty easy to see an FA-18 versus a drone being sent at you from the Houthi, because this happened in the Red Sea. So, so Vinny, first to you. Do you think this is just kind of the icing on the cake of the Biden incompetence, or are we missing something?
I personally think it's like you said, Ant. I mean, you can't mistake a plane from a drone. You know what I mean?
No,
and all of a sudden now you don't see the drones in the sky no more. You don't see them no more. And now I just posted, I think it was on Newsmax. Somebody said that they may have found out that it's some kind of military thing, military drone exercise, but they overdid it too much with the drones. And then the other thing is with the radiation, that they're looking for some kind of radiation stuff that was on that train, that train accident that was stolen. So nothing makes sense to me. To me, I think all red flags, false flags.
So that wouldn't necessarily be DOD. That would be DOE, Department of Energy, but that's possible. So, because I know DOD, and I met with DOD leadership this last week, and they're saying it wasn't us. Just saying. So I'm pretty sure it's not DOD, but it could be DOE, Department of Energy, who would be out doing things. And of course, that's my issue with this administration. Vinny, they never coordinate. They don't talk to each other. They don't say, "Hey, this guy's in charge. You go work with him." Barry, what do you make of our shooting down our own airplane? That's a pretty expensive piece of technology.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I'm not a military guy like you, but I think isn't it unusual to have friendly fire during peacetime? That we're not even at war. So how does that happen? I mean, it's
the level of
height of incompetence, I would say. Right? I think it's just the height of incompetence. Like, I don't know who, it's there's no reason. It's
Barry, if you're more worried about if you're the ship's captain and you're looking down at the color of the polish on your fingernails and you lose track of what's going on over here on the catapult, and you just like push a button and shoot off a missile, I guess it could happen, right?
Right.
I mean, maybe it should be a regulation against Navy folks having any sort of coloring on their fingernails, because it's too distracting for them, right?
No dresses either. No dresses.
No dresses. No color on your fingernails.
Right.
And by the way, no more listening to the soundtrack from Top Gun and pretending you're Tom Cruise. That's out. No more of that. You can't do that.
Oh no.
That's right. That's right. Did you see that the Secretary
Besides, you have to give all your money to Scientology if you do that.
Well, speaking of that, real quick, you can Google this, Chris, while I'm talking about it. Did you know? Speaking of circling the square, did you know that Secretary of the Navy Del Toro gave Mr. Scientology an award, the highest civilian award of the Navy? Did you see that, Chris? So, I know Del Toro. I mean, I don't know him well. He and I walked when my friend Bud McFarland passed. Colonel McFarland, Bud McFarland. I moved from he and I, Del Toro and I walked from the chapel to the gravesite of Bud McFarland, and back. This is 2 years ago. But anyway, so then we got U.S. Navy. This goes Tom Cruise, the top honor for his for reasons. So apparently, apparently, I think I'm safe by saying this. Apparently, Tom Cruise was not flying that FA-18 they shot down. Is that a safe assessment?
I don't know.
Am I safe in saying that?
Score one for Xenu, the Galactic Warlord.
There you go. So they're giving old Maverick awards, but they're shooting down their own planes.
What a disgrace.
Top Gun 3, the sequel. Maverick goes into the drink.
No. Yeah. The only problem I had with Maverick, there's only one problem I had with Maverick. A bunch of millennials actually knowing Great Balls of Fire at the same time. I didn't think that was ever going to happen. That's the real unreal portion of that movie.
Well, yeah, millennials and Joy Behar making old Take Me Home. What was that another movie? Take Me Home or something like that when they talk about that.
We know how it makes her feel.
That. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I feel better now that we've had this great discussion of all these issues. So, but no, I'm serious here because so in one instance, we have the Navy shooting down its own airplanes, and we got the Secretary of the Navy giving awards to Scientologists, which I guess I'm okay with. I mean, Scientologists are people too, right? And Tom Cruise. So, and plus, we're talking about a lot of short people today too. I guess Tom Cruise is about the size of Janet Yellen and Anthony Fauci.
And Fauci, yeah, but Fauci's taller with that pointed hat.
Yeah. So, my question becomes: if you took Anthony Fauci and Tom Cruise and put them on the beach, who could swim further out to sea? A, Tony Fauci. B, Tom Cruise. Or C, it's worth trying no matter what. I think it's C. I think it's C is the answer. So.
I think it would be B because Fauci being vaxxed so many times, he wouldn't be able to handle the long distance swimming. So it would definitely be Tom Cruise.
That's right. So that's true. All right. So Chris, is there anything else we want to cover today before we head off to the sunset? Oh, well, I want to announce we are having a Christmas special tomorrow, and I'm going to have some Christmas gadgets that I've got. Chris has kind of telegraphed what they are. I'm not going to show them today because tomorrow's our special. Yep. And then I'm talking. So Chris, I'm doing an audible here. So I'm thinking about doing a live, our last show of the year, which would be a week from tomorrow.
Yes.
On the 31st. I'm talking about doing it from a remote location right here in Edenton. So maybe that would be fun for the folks too.
That's good.
We would do live interaction with folks. So because we
good.
are a live show, we interact with Patriots and we'll interact with people here in Edenton as well. So I think it'd be fun. So I'm throwing it out there as a possibility. I think it'd be good. So anyway, so let's, go ahead.
Tony, I said Tony on the street. That sounds good.
Tony on the street. So anyway, so let's end the show with some Christmas greetings. So Vinny, what are you most grateful for? I see you talking about gratitude all the time on Facebook. So what are you most grateful for besides Barry and his making you into
well, I'm grateful for a lot of things. I'm grateful that I can wake up the next day. I'm grateful I got a great family. And that's it. And just enjoy life as best I can. That's all I can do. You know?
Yeah, we do our best every day. And I appreciate and that's why I like you, because I know you do the same thing as we do. So that's great. Barry, how about you? What are you grateful for besides being the best photographer on the planet Earth at this point in time?
Well, I'm grateful that I'll probably stay in business now that Trump is going to be back in office because the economy is. I'm feeling very optimistic about the economy. But yeah, seriously, the two things I am so grateful that Donald Trump won. Obviously, I guess that's the obvious answer. Yeah. It's really a lot to look forward to. Great economy, closed border, back to normalcy. No more of this transgender crap that we have to deal with, and all this other insanity. It's been insane for 4 years. We've reached sanity again. And second thing is my beautiful wife. I'm grateful for her.
Yes.
She's amazing.
She's always on your Facebook page. You guys are posting, and it's wonderful. So, well, Barry, I have a question for you before I go.
Sure.
So, if we raise the money, and we convinced, say, Janet Yellen and Anthony Fauci to come to your studio, do you think would you be willing to take pictures of them as elves? We should do a GoFundMe. It's like I think it's fun. The Keebler elves, Mr. and Mrs. Keebler elf. Wouldn't that be great for?
Yeah.
Or they could do a selfie, a selfie photo op. There you go.
A flaming selfie, chestnuts roasting on the open fire, as they say on the subway, right?
Yeah. Remember, again, closing argument here. Listen to Patricia Clark. She's a wise woman.
That's right. She and George Costanza. Costanza.
Well, that's right. We'll be done with the George Costanza. We'll be done with the George Costanza administration pretty soon. Remember,
That's right.
that's the
That's
motto.
right.
If it's not a lie, if you believe it.
That's right. So, Chris, let's end the day with you talking about what you're most grateful for.
I'm grateful for family, friends, the Patriots here, you guys. Some opportunities that have come across, and I'm grateful that we're still around here. I guess we survived 4 years of I'm of a world of the world elite trying to destroy the country. We did manage to fight back from our own little insurgency, and now,
Yeah.
let's hope it keeps going.
Well, we got to get to 20 January, and big things are coming. So be sure and check out Paul Stone and his team to make sure that your financial future is taken care of with gold and silver. Otherwise, Vinny, God bless you. Thank you for being here. Barry, God bless you. Thank you for being here. Chris, God
Merry
bless
Christmas,
you.
all.
Yes.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. And we'll see you all tomorrow for our Christmas special. So until then, go out, be full of mirth and great cheer. Don't be a Democrat. Be happy,
No.
right?
There you go. Yeah,
No.
Do the Trump dance.
Right.